Hey, everybody. Excuse me. My name is Sean, and I'm going to tell you about my younger years sailing with my dad in the summer um, and just learning how to sail with him. When I was around seven, my mom bought my dad this tiny little 12-foot sunfish sailboat. It wasn't any bigger than just the cockpit on this boat. It had no motor, one sail, and enough room for two people, a gallon of water, and a box of Cheez-Its, which becomes incredibly important in this story. And that was really our entire meal plan, really. If you were hungry, it was Cheez-Its. If you were thirsty, it was warm water that came from the hose in our front yard before we left. And if you complained about any of this, it was more Cheez-Its and warm water. That was really all we had. My dad would take me out on Whiskey Town or Shasta Lake up near Redding, California. And we would spend all day just chasing wind wherever the wind was coming from. We would use that to learn how to get around the lake. He was very good at this. Literally, we would do this from sunrise to sunset. Sometimes we would come in after sunset. Um, and like I say, just running on Cheez-Its, warm plastic tasting water from the hose, and wind. Um, it's important to note that I was a rather difficult kid. I couldn't sit still. This is before they'd ever even invented the term ADHD. And teachers just really hated dealing with me. I remember telling a teacher one day, look, I know you're mad at me, but you get to go home at the end of the day. Imagine you were me. I have to deal with me all day and all night. I can't escape this. I got to deal with this. He wound up being a very good friend of mine. It still is. But the thing about this little boat was that it was like a teacher. It taught me how to focus the wind, the sail angle, the direction we were heading, where we wanted to get to. You have to focus to get where you want to be in that situation. And my dad had inadvertently found something that not only showed me how to pay attention, but also why it was so important to pay attention. By the time I was 9 years old, I could sail that boat in any direction, no matter what direction the wind was coming from. A beam reach, they call it, which comes directly from the side, no big deal. Tailwind, of course, super easy. Quartering tailwind, a broad reach, makes you go even faster. Even a headwind, not a problem. Learned how to adjust the sails so I could literally go almost directly into the wind, upwind. When all you've got on a boat is a gallon of warm water and a half empty box of Cheez-Its, you learn real fast how to get somewhere else and get somewhere where there might be better food. Those summers with my dad were simple, really. Just me and my dad, this tiny little boat, and any lake we could get it into. When I look back at it, it's just a parent, a dedicated parent, and time, and several boxes of Cheez-Its. It's amazing how much that can really change your life for the better. Um, Thank you very much for your time, everyone. I appreciate you. And I hope this was entertaining for you as it was as much fun for me.